no better person to talk basketball with than Mark Pancratz, sitting right there, former Vol assistant coach, former D1 basketball player at Milwaukee. Thank you for being here, Mark.
Thanks for having me.
We haven't caught up in a while. I was going to ask you, I was just going to start by saying observations on the Vols and how they're doing. But since they're going to be number one in the new rankings when it comes out, or at least that's assumed, I think everybody knows they're doing pretty well. They've won the first 8 games by 15 points or more. It's been a solid start. But I do want to get 3 observations for you. Again, we're racing, for those who are wondering. We're racing to get ready for the bracket, and then we're going to sit and wait for them to announce the bracket. It's the beauty of TV.
Yeah.
So, 3 quick observations that you've picked up on about this Tennessee team so far.
Well, the first thing, I keep going back to the culture because this is Zakai's year, right? Meshack came back, could have went other places. He's going to be a senior, and they've welcomed in this new wave of talent. You know, to be able to kind of not step aside. I mean, obviously Zakai is still your leader, but when you're going into your senior year, I've been around it. I was there when Brian Williams and Scotty Hobson approached Tobias Harris and were like, hey, this is our team, as Tobias was coming in as a 5-star recruit as a freshman. And so the fact that Zakai and Meshack are not stepping aside, but they're welcoming those guys and empowering them, that says a lot about this culture. And so then the next piece for me is you look at our offensive efficiency. This team and program has been really known for their defense. Yeah. Right now, 8 games in, they're scoring over 1 point per possession, which is that's a lot of points. I mean, that's high up there in national averages. And the way that they're doing it, they're playing more up tempo. But Igor, which would be my third observation, how they're using Igor. Last year with Awaka and Adu, both of those guys in ball screen action were pick and roll guys. Now when you've got Felix, who's still a pick and roll guy, but now you throw in Igor into a ball screen in the same possession, it's making defenses have to adapt quickly. They don't know, am I switching? Is this guy going to pick and pop, pick and roll? Whereas last year, everybody was a pick and roll guy. So Igor being able to pick and pop, shoot the basketball, be able to switch defensive ball screens, he's been a huge difference maker in the way that this team started this year.
It's remarkable the change that Rick Barnes has made in the last couple of years, going from so heavy. Remember 2 years ago, it was just painful to watch offensively. Last year, you had Dalton connect, and the team becomes more of a scoring threat. And now this year you're doing it again. You bring in Chaz Lanier, who's fit right in. To me, it's amazing how Rick Barnes continues to, in lack of a better word, evolve. You wouldn't think a guy who's been in it for so long would continue to every year kind of evolve and change his game a little bit to bring in guys, keep the culture right, but be able to utilize them. I don't know that he was. It seemed like before he was trying to put square pegs in round holes a little bit. Now it seems like he's more adjusted to, I'm going to take what I've got and fit it into, I'm going to make something that fits for these guys.
Yeah.
Questions, comments?
I keep watching this team play, Mark, and Ziegler is like leading the team in minutes. How long can you keep putting him out there the whole game, basically the whole game, and who's going to be the point guard? Who can step up at that position? You're going to need somebody.
Yeah, right now he's averaging about 33 minutes a game. And that would be okay if we were playing a lot of close ball games, right? We're winning by 27 points or whatever it is, and he's still playing 33 minutes a game. I think that is the biggest hole that this team has, is who is your backup point guard? And look, you're talking about elite programs when you immediately go, what's their biggest gap? And you're talking about their backups. So that's a good sign. But I do think Zakai's wear and tear, we saw that down the stretch last year, that if he's not fresh, it's going to hurt this team, especially the way that he plays so hard on both ends. They're more excited about Boswell and his improvement than where they were at early in the preseason. 4-star freshman on the roster. Gainey's playing a little bit of point guard, but at the end of the day, they don't have a true backup point guard if Zakai goes out.
What do you think of Lanier, whose numbers obviously have been terrific to start?
Yeah, I mean, golly, can he score at all 3 levels, plays at an incredible tempo. And I think what I like about him most, and I think what NBA guys like about him most, is his efficiency. He doesn't need 23 shots to score 27 points. He's doing it on 16 shots, and he's playing, 25, 26 minutes a game. Just the tempo that he plays at, the character that he plays with, and he's obviously shooting it at a high clip.
All right, very good. When we come back, we're going to talk more basketball, but I will tell you, Ryan Callahan, Tyler Ivins were on their cell phones. They just noticed that in the AP poll, without playing, Ohio State has jumped Tennessee, who didn't play, which seems to suggest that the people voting in the AP poll know what's coming in the playoff bracket. It's like, well, we might as well get on board that Ohio State's going to be ahead of Tennessee and hosting them. We'll see if that's how it turns out, but Tennessee has been jumped by Ohio State in the AP poll today. Come on back, more basketball, then bracket stuff.